Hello everyone. Kev's here. What's up, Kev? How's it going?
Kevin!
Missed you, Kev. Yeah, how's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. I didn't stream last week because I had some personal stuff come up, so I couldn't do it. But this week, I'm going to hopefully make up for it with the greatest stream you've ever seen. Hola! Alphas Original? El Puis Original? El Puis Original. Alfredo. Is that Alfredo? Hello, Alfredo. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Cool. Alfredo, yes. Where are you coming from, Alfredo? Anyway, drop that in chat when you can. Costa Rica. Well, buenos dias. Anyways, today I'm going to do a couple of things. So I don't know if you saw this or not, anyone. Buenos dias, señor. Hola. ¿Cómo está? ¿Estás? I'm trying to learn Spanish. I have some team members that speak Spanish, and I'm learning it horribly. So if I say something stupid, just blame Duolingo. So this is a thing that just got kind of released. It's WordPress.com, our friends over at WordPress.com, released Studio. It works for Mac right now, and it's pretty cool so far. So I use local a lot of times for my live streams and stuff. Senior developer, yes, junior developer, yes. Anyways, so check out that Studio thing. It's really cool. I'm gonna try to use it for the stream. Actually, I'm gonna see how it works. So you can download it from Mac now. It is free. Once you download it, you'll have this thing. So today we're building a to-do app. I'm taking. I think it was Kevin that suggested this, and then I was actually in a Slack channel with some of the developers of the Interactivity API. What is it? It is like a local development environment for WordPress, which is pretty cool so far. I haven't played with it too much. I downloaded it yesterday, played around with a little bit, but so I'm just going to go through the process here. So we download it, and I'm going to just set up a to-do app, right? So we're going to just set this up. So far, so good. I put a site together last night really quickly, and this is it. This is our app. So we should be able to share this. I don't think I like this music. It's too jazzy. So this is our app. That was lightning fast. So we're in 16.2 or 6.5.2. I'll zoom that in. Move my microphone. So let's see. So yeah, so now we can, oh, this is neat. We can open the whole thing in VS Code. So we'll do that. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do that. We're going to get rid of this. I'm going to bring this up here. Sorry. Zoom it in. Boom, boom, boom. So now we've got an entire WordPress installation right here. There we go. Let's see. Pretty cool so far. Now there is this neat little feature that I wanted to play with. I don't know if you can see that. So there's this thing called the demo site. So what it does, it'll create, and I haven't done much with this, but I'm going to do one for what we're doing today. I don't know push updates to your demo at any time. Okay, so if I press this button, it's going to do it in the background, but it's going to create a temporary WordPress site for me that I can share the link to. I guess. So, and then it gets deleted after 7 days if you don't use the update. So something like this is going to be really cool to be able to like show off stuff to clients and all that. I haven't put it through its paces yet, so I'm pretty excited to try it. So I'm going to do that now. That's just working. But in the meantime, I should just be able to get some work done here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scaffold a block inside of this. I'm going to open this in my integrated terminal. Right, I'm going to say, oh my gosh, npx at WordPress create block. It's going to be, we're going to call this to do MVC, MV. It's going to be that kind of day. I can tell already, MVC. And then I need to make it a dynamic block. Variant is dynamic, and the namespace is going to be what do we call this? To do MV to do MVC. So that's going to yes, I'm going to do that. So that's going to download and scaffold in the plugins directory. If that's where I call. Yeah, so we should be right there. We'll do that. Let's see if we go to plugins, will it show up? There it is. It's right there. So we're going to do some things to get that working. So in the meantime, we're going to look at MVC.com. So this is what we're going to be doing. This is the inspiration for this. We're going to be doing this. So I haven't really done any research on this, so we're going to kind of fight through it together. This might take a couple of streams. I might do it this week and maybe next week as well. But I think we can do it. I've been doing some really fun experimentation with the Interactivity API. Specifically, I built a slideshow, like a Reveal.js. Well, let me back that up. It's nothing like Reveal.js. It's not near as good as that, but it is a block-based slideshow. Phil Spiderweb, hey, coming to us from YouTube. Welcome to the show, Phil L Spiderweb, in square brackets. My Twitch friend can't see your chat, unfortunately. Only I can. But you're welcome to come join us over here in Twitch land if you are interested. Which I can drop the link. I don't think I have. Let me just grab let me grab my link here. Copy. I'm gonna drop this. So we'll drop it in here if anyone wants to come join us here. And you can join my Discord too, apparently. Cool. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, I lost my train of thought now. Oh, right. I built a slideshow presentation. So it's block based. So you insert like a slide and you put the content in that slide, and then it goes full screen. And there's like there's speaker's notes, and when you move, it talks between stuff. It's pretty fun. It's pretty neat. Maybe we'll show that. But anyhow, okay. So what do we do here? So we need to build a to-do app, right? And can you see it? A demo? Oh, learn to type. Okay. Active completed. All clear completed. Gonna complete that. Oh, interesting. Active completed. So this is what we need to build. Okay. Cool. So this is it. This is the example. You're writing yet another block theme. Excellent. I like that. Is this for a client? Sorry, Phil L in Twitch and in YouTube said, I'm listening while writing yet another block theme. Well, that's awesome. You want to share links? Would love to see them. Love to see people build block themes. All right. Why is my watch bugging me? There we go. Get out of here. Okay, cool. So how are we doing here? Is this done? Okay, this is done. So I'm going to just cd into to do MVC npm start. We're going to get, oh no, I got to stop that. Okay, so let's turn this block into an interactive block. So there's a couple things we have to do. So in our source, in our block JSON, the first thing that we need to do is we need to set interactivity. We need to set that to true. So this, nope, we gotta set it to true. It's gotta be true or it's not gonna work. I don't care what you say, it is not gonna work otherwise. Thing I like to do here as well, problem is here, I need to get, I'm gonna go to the presentation. I'm just gonna open this up over here. You don't need to look at this. You don't need to look at this yet, but this is doing some cool stuff. But what we want to do is we're going to need to get something that I want to get out of package JSON here. Eventually, I want it to this. I'm going to put that in there. It's my prettier config. Why is that so slow? Be gone with you. Be gone with you. Man, this is really slow. All right, so I'm just going to pull this over here so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so I'm adding this prettier config because I want it to auto-save all my configurations of my JavaScripts. Cool. Phil says, and Mechanic, hi, welcome. Phil, I'd love to bring you into the chat and Twitch if that's something you're interested in. If not, no worries, I appreciate it. I'm just glad you're here, friend. I'm just glad you're here. but people could benefit from what you have to say. And unfortunately, Twitch rules don't let me show chat on the screen. Anyways, so package.json, we want to put pretty in so it auto formats for me. All right, so the first thing to turning a block into an interactive block is to add the supports interactivity to true. So once that's done, it at least knows kind of what it's looking for there. The next thing is we have to add, we're going to add a couple of flags to our build processes. So in scripts, because this is a dynamic block. Thanks, Phil. Sorry for the pressure, man. Do appreciate you. Do appreciate you being here. We have this webpack copy PHP. So what that does is when the build process runs, it copies any PHP files into the build directory. So essentially, it's going to take this file and put it in there, which is good because we need that file. So I'm going to just add another flag called experimental modules. Now this is an experimental flag, and it's experimental because they're still figuring out how the best way to kind of do it. But basically what this is going to do is this going to enable module mode. So our Vue.js file is it needs to have modules. It's like the Interactivity API is loaded with JavaScript modules. So it's a little bit different. So, all right, so that should be all we need to do there to get that done. Okay, and then in our block.json, we have interactivity is true. So I'm trying to, the other thing we have to do then, okay, sorry. There's one more thing we have to do in block.json. So we used to have view script, right? But now what we want to have is view script. Oh, that's not what we want to have. What we want to have is a little thing called view script module. So that is going to make it load this. It's going to treat it like a module, right? So yeah. Oh, Flex is here. Hey, Flex. Yeah, thanks for the cool idea. I don't know who gave me the idea. Somebody on this stream. Maybe his name rhymed with 7 or maybe Flex set. I don't know. It was somebody. It was one of you guys. Anyways. Cool. So now I think we're set up. So is this okay? So now I'm gonna run start npm start, and everything should be working. Everything okay, so it's building. That's good. Building. We got a view, so you can see it's in here. Okay, cool. So if we jump into our, okay, I'm gonna activate this plugin. No problems there. Posts, all posts. I'm gonna change this one to do app. All right, I'm gonna to do MVC. Okay, so this is, we're just gonna call it this. Gonna run this in here so you can see we've got that. So this is basic scaffolding. So we're pretty much started where we need to be. So all right, let's close all this down. Okay, so let's look at render. So there is a very specific markup that we are apparently supposed to use with this. And it looks like this is it. So I'm going to just grab, do I need to add all that? I don't want to add that. I'm just going to add this whole section stuff. So what this is going to do, we're going to just, I'm going to paste it all in here. I'm going to format this a little bit better. Okay, so if we run this over here now, it was a cool guy, but kind of conceited, to be honest. I mean, yeah, he's cool, great, yeah, great. He's cool and he's good looking, he's tall and he's smart. Whatever. Like, this doesn't make you better than me. Anyways, yeah. Okay, cool. So that's that. Now that's pretty ugly. So the next thing, I just want to get all the CSS in place, I think, at this point. So where's the styles? There's my styles. App.css. You bastard. Where's it getting its CSS from? Because I don't want to write CSS because I'm not good at it. Oh. All right, let's find it. Where is it pulling in the CSS from? It's gotta be pulling it from somewhere. Oh, that's annoying. Why would it be in there? Okay. So I think I have to probably take this template and npm install it, package Python. All right. Well, I'll just I'm just gonna do this. It's so annoying. Okay, I'm just gonna do this in here. That's fine. I'm just gonna do this to steal the where's my thing? So I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna come out of here. CD. I'm gonna just get clone and clone that in there. It's gonna just drop it in beside this, and then I'm gonna just basically steal the CSS out of. Oh, CD. What is this thing to do? npm install. Hey from YouTube. Hey, there's Phil Spiderweb. Thanks for hanging out with us there, Spider. Oh, who's that? Somebody followed me. Who is that? Yeah, I'm not. Phil Spiderman just followed. Thank you for the follow, Spider. I'm gonna call you Spider from now on, and I'm gonna tell my son, who's obsessed with Spider-Man, that Spider-Man followed me on the Twitch today. That's what I'm gonna do. Pete Georgiev, hey, how's it going? Okay, so let's grab the base CSS. We're gonna just take all this, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna plunk it right into our style.css. But I think I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna just put it in here for now. We're gonna have to figure out sort of how this all works, and then what else is it pulling in? Let's look. Let's look. HTML. Name of our company is Spiderwebs. Cool. It's a great name. It's a great name. I am telling him that Spider-Man followed me though, so that's just the way it's gonna be. Index.css. So is that? So here, the node modules. It must be this. Must be this. All right. Probably not gonna need all this stuff, but we're gonna plunk it in. We're gonna see how it works. Right, so that's gonna go in there. So I think now, is this gonna give me the CSS I need? No, because I don't think it's targeting properly. I really don't know. Oh, because I'm not building it. That'll do it every single time. CD to do npm start. Okay, let's use the work. Let's look. There we go. Okay, it's breaking all the things, but that's fine because we need to fix that. But now I've got the CSS and everything in there, so I don't want to worry. I'm not going to worry about that too much at the moment. Let's close all this down. I'm gonna leave this in place just in case I need it for something, but I probably won't. Okay, so all right. So now in the render, now what I want to do here is I'm gonna comment this stuff out for now. Is that? Oh, why are there so many comments in here? Oh, come on. These comments are driving me bonkers, man. Okay, cool. Well, when we do a block, what we need to do is we need to have the attributes, right? We need to get we need to basically put this in here. So I'm gonna jump over to here. So the root element, let's just ignore all the stuff down below. But the root element in our thing here is gonna need to be is gonna need to have should be able to do class, I think, in here, right? And we're gonna put God, how long has it been? We're gonna do that. So this hopefully should give us all our stuff, but also wrap this. Why is this yelling at me? Why is this yelling at me? Unexpected. Oh. It's my first day with PHP, friends. My first day with PHP. Oh, I think I have to do an array in there. Something like that. I think that's what I have to do. Still gonna yell at me? What are we yelling at here? Unexpected end of file. Oh. Maybe we'll do it that way. The correct way of doing PHP. Thank you. All right, so let's look in here. I'm going to refresh. I'm going to inspect this now. We should zoom that in. We should see where is that block. There it is. So here we go. Okay, so that is the class. So to do, so it added that in. So that's fine. So that's okay, cool. So we have that. So ignoring the contents of this, we need to add a couple more things. So the first thing that we need to do is we're going to need to add, because this is going to be an interactive block, we need to add the attribute of data WP interactive. I'm going to just do this so it's a little bit easier to read. I don't know if that's easier to read, but it's going to be what it is. So this is going to be the name of our store. So we're going to call this to-dos. That's what we're going to call it. Unless somebody comes up with a better name, we're going to just, I'm going to add this to the workspace. Yeah, sure. That's what we need to do. So once we have that defined, now this block is like, oh, okay, now I know this is going to be an interactive block. So the next thing that we have to do is we're going to have to actually define a store. We do that in our Vue.js. So this is the old Vue.js. I'm just going to go ahead and delete all that. And the only thing we need at this moment is we need to define a store. And we can basically do a bunch of stuff in here. So just for the sake of to do store, we're just gonna do this for now, right? And we need to have an object. That's basically all it is. And this is also the name of our store. And this needs to match this thing here, right? So we've defined the store, and that's really all we have to do at this point. Now the store doesn't have anything going on. I'm going to add this little function down here that actually, this is from Kev. Kev's the man. This is going to help us debug, log out values from within the store because it's proxied and there's some bunch of fun stuff going in here. Okay, so this is really all we need to do to turn an interactive block. Now this isn't doing anything yet, right? So what we're going to need to do is define some state. We're going to need to define a few things in our store. One thing that I do want to do is I want to make sure that multiple is set to false, because with what I have sort of planned. Hakira Shaimui, thank you for the follow. Sorry if I butcher the pronunciation of your name, but welcome to the stream. So what I was saying was, I don't want to have more than one instance of this block on a given post. My plan for this is to, I think, I'm going to probably just I'm going to save it in local storage probably at first. But then I also think maybe we can save it to post meta, like save the to-dos to post meta and have it work that way. Haven't figured that out yet. Let's get it working. Let's get the interactivity portion working, and we'll go from there. So that's the other. Okay. So interactive is true, multiple is false. So now if we come in here, right, we shouldn't. Oops! I think I broke it. We shouldn't be able to put the to-do app. No, we can't. So this CSS is it's breaking it. So I'll have to fix that. I might just comment it all out for now, because this is the CSS, but we're gonna have to add it in when we kind of get into it. Oh my God, there's so much CSS in here. I'm just gonna comment that out. So this should no longer break that. It no longer breaks it. All right, so now we can't add that in. What we're doing at Dashicons. I like Dashicons. I need to pick a. I always use these for icons. I think it's just like super easy. I want like a checklist. Is there like a, let's see, something? Oh, I think that might be what we need. That might be something. Let's see. Is there anything else? Any good icons that we can use? Now we don't need to use Dashicons. You can use an icon, like you can create an SVG or something or whatever you want to do there. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these are a bit limited. I'm not going to agonize about this too much, but I'm going to find something that looks kind of like a little checklist. I'm going to use this. Where'd that icon go? Oh crap. Where's one? I just had it. This one. That's what I want. So this is the name of it. Dashicons alt. Yes, alt. So when you put it into your block.json, the icon, you leave off the Dashicons part. You just use the icon. Yeah, the icon site's pretty old. You know, they're not really being maintained anymore. But anyhow, it is a good resource if you just want to put it right into your block.json, right? So now if we look at this, not that. If I look at this and I wait and I click, you see now we've got it over here, and you see the to do and MVC. So we can do that. We can just do that. Cool. All right, so I've got that sort of set up. We'll leave it in widgets. To do block in the style of whatever this URL is. Not that one. No, this one. Where'd it go? That. Okay. Okay. Enough of this shenaniganery. We're going to get this back into. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's not doing anything, but look at that. All right. So I don't really know what I'm going to do with. I need to wear the phosphor set where possible. Yeah, you can use any icons you want. They're just, the Dashicons are easy, and I don't need to modify my block, my index, because if I wanted to use something that wasn't one of those Dashicons, if I wanted to use an icon component, for example, I'd have to come in here and I'd have to add it here and all that stuff and import it. I'm just being lazy. That's really all I'm doing. Like for my advanced query loop plugin, I absolutely do that. I have a custom SVG that I pull in and just grab with that. But for the purposes of this, no one wants to watch me fart around with that. I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. I don't know. Okay. So next thing, the next thing that we want to do is we're going to take. Okay. Let's start setting up the store a little bit. So the store is going to have three, like it's an object. So it can have a whole ton of properties, but we're sort of working towards the best practice of having a property called state, right? Which is an object. We're going to have a property called actions, which is also a property. They're all properties, so I'm going to stop saying properties. And then we're going to have one called callbacks. So actions and callbacks, and I've talked about this before, but actions and callbacks can be, they're very, they can be very, very similar. So our state is like the state of the application and what's going on in the application at any given time. Okay. The number of to-dos, ones that have been, like, you know, if a to-do has been checked off, is completed, not completed, whatever. So that's our state, right? And our state changes as we make changes in the application. So we make those application changes based on interaction. So you can think of actions as like things that the user is interacting with. For example, when I click a button, that's an interaction. That action's going to fire and something's going to happen, right? A callback is a bit more programmatic. You can think of it like when I do like an init. So there's some directives, and we'll talk about directives in a second. But there's directives that you can use that, like when this block is initialized, then I want something to happen. So like on initialization, anything that you would use a use effect for, anything, something like that. So like more programmatic actions that don't necessarily have to do with user interface, like, yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of what we're doing, how we're sort of chunking these things together. So our state's going to have, we need to have our to-dos. We need to have a list of to-dos in our state, right? So that's what this is going to be, right? So, yeah, and I think that might be all the state that we need. So to do is going to be an object, and it's going to have what? It's going to have a, I don't even know. I guess we got to look at the spec for here. So what does a to do look like? Code, functionalities, new to do, completed value. Talking, okay. Is there examples of sort of what this needs to look like? JS, app.js, no. So I'm assuming there just needs to be sorry, I'm just looking for like where, okay. This structure stuff's probably not going to apply to the way that we're doing it because we have to build it within a very specific structure. So we'll see how that goes. But an item, editing, counter, routing. Okay. Well, ooh, routing is required. Oh, that's interesting. Because we do have routing in the Interactivity API. I haven't done much with it, so I might layer that on after. But let's get this figured out right now. So, okay, so let's just say there's going to be a title, right? And there's going to be whether or not it's complete, right? So we're going to have, there's a label, and there is this is a label and a completed state. So we need, I guess we need to have a label, test, learn React. I love how that popped up. There we go. We're gonna do that. And completed is gonna be false. So that should be our list of to-dos, right? That should be all the data that we need. Based on this, we basically have completed, and then classes view, and then we're gonna have, that's it. That's all the information that we need to track from this, I think. Okay, so let's start trying to piece some of these things together. So we'll look at the React version. So this is what needs to be done. So we have this button in here. Nope, not using I'm using the Interactivity API through WordPress, and we're going to build this to-do list with this. So we have state. So probably the easiest one for us to show is so there's some rules here that we needed to hide some stuff, right? Where'd that go? Sorry, jumping around. No to-dos. When there are no to-dos, main and footer should be hidden. Now, did I put footer in there? I don't know if I put footer. Oh, I did put footer in there. Okay, classes footer and classes main. They have them as IDs, but these should be hidden, right? Okay, so this is a great example. So we're going to use a very specific directive. So this is what we're going to do. So state can hold information like this. State. Oh, it's Terrence. Terrence is here, everyone. Stream's over. We're going to say, so what we need to have is we want to have a getter, and we use a JavaScript getter just starts with the word get, and then it's going to be get something, and it's supposed to return a value. So we're going to say get all to-dos, right? It's going to be a function, right? And all it's going to do, I don't even know if we actually need to do this. This is a good question. I'll have to figure that out. So we should just be able to return, not this. We're going to return state. And I'll show you how to do this. So remember up here where I had this I just put a name in there. What we're gonna, not store, state. This store returns references to each thing in here. So what we can do here is we can say we're gonna destructure out state, but then we're gonna access that state which is being returned from store. So that's how we do this, right? So we could do something like get has to-dos, right? We can do that, and we can basically just return, it's gonna do this for me. Yeah, so I'm not even gonna use this one. I'm gonna use this one because this is what we want, right? So this is gonna return true. It's a true or false value. So in our render, this part, right? We're gonna bind, we're gonna add a directive. Terrence, I'm working on the Interactivity API, a to-do app for the Interactivity API. So I'm installing all of the stuff from Todoist. Is it Todoist? Whatever, To-do and NVC right here. I'll drop the link again. Let's pause the stream because Terrence is late. Just kidding. It's kidding, Terrence. It's not actually Terrence. It's Tyler. Anyways, so we're going to use a directive. And directives... let me just get over to the Interactivity API here. We're gonna go to Block Editor Handbook. I'm gonna throw the docs in here. Taylor. I know, Taylor. Interactive API app, Interactivity app. So here we go. So this is the documentation that we got for it there. So we're gonna look at the directives code. Where is the API reference? Here we go. API reference. So okay, I guess we're gonna go to the API reference, which is actually be over here. So these are the list of directives. Now directives. Yes, it can and it will. So there was a demo floating around for the longest time that was a single page application built entirely in it. Now the work on the router is completing, is being still worked on. So I actually don't know how far we can get with that sort of in a released state right now, but that is the plan. I'm gonna ask some folks after this stream. I don't know if anyone is on the stream that can answer that question, but have you tried using HTMX? I have not tried using HTMX. Yeah, maybe. So anyways, a directive. So we're going to use directives here. Yeah, so directive basically is how we talk to. Yep, there's a lot of similarities with Alpine.js with the directives thing. So directives are actually processed on the server, and which was a big requirement because WordPress is PHP based, right? So what we want to do is there's this whole list of directives, and they do a bunch of different things. So the one that I want to do right now is there is a bind directive. So what we want to have is we can bind to any given attribute, right? So we're going to do exactly this. We're going to say, I'm going to steal this, and I'm going to say on this, we're going to bind this particular tag to, we're going to bind its hidden attribute to something that to state dot, whatever we called it. What did we call it? Where is it? Has to do's, right? So we should be able to do it that way. So when this processes, if there are to-dos, state.has-to-dos will return false. So hidden will be false. If it's true, and in the sense of there are no to-dos, right? Then it will be shown. So right now, let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. We just need these two files. So right now we've got this one list we've got one to do in there, right? So if I come over here, where this thing is, so what was actually in that? So we can see what was in there. So we should see like a label that says mark all is complete and everything, right? So we should just lose all of this. So it's there now. So hopefully, with a little luck, when I come over here and I get rid of this, I refresh this. Uh-oh. Why didn't it work? Okay. That's all right. We'll figure it out. What it is? Where am I? Oh, in here. To-dos. Okay. Interactive. To-dos. Oh, did I put is there an extra space in there? Oh crap, that's what I did. Sorry, that was my bad. So I have class here, and then I have this attribute, and then I actually just I blended it right in with class. Yes, thank you, Terrence. You concisely said what I was mumbling on about there. So okay, so let's see. So let's see. So data interactive is to do's. So this state that has to do's. Okay, so it looks like it's binding correctly. Or is it binding correctly? Yeah, that's, I'm gonna get rid of the turn verbose off. Oh, crap. This error has nothing to do with this. It's a password thing. Okay, so let's see. This is building. Okay. So I've to-dos. My store is the same name. Where'd it go? Okay, so let me try that. See what? Oh, okay. Oh, did I think I have my logic backwards. Do I have my logic backwards? I do have my logic backwards. So hidden needs to be true, right? So this needs to return a true value. So if state is length is greater than 0, then it has to-dos, which means that logic is incorrect. Well, no, so this returns whether or not there are indeed to-dos in there. So if I were to put this back, we should get that thing back. Yeah, we do. Okay, so that's in there. And that's because this needs to be the opposite, or the whatever that returns, we want to check for the opposite. So if it has to-dos, we want it to be false or true. If we want it to be, if it doesn't have to-dos, oh my God, I'm not explaining this very well. If it has to-dos, then that would be true, but we want to see that. We want to see it. So we want to have it be the opposite of whatever has to-dos comes back with. Oh my Lord. I do suck at explaining. Wow. It's only my job to explain complicated concepts to people. Holy crap. Okay, cool. So the other thing that we also have to hide is what? What's the other thing? All right, where are we here? Yeah, the length is bigger than 0. It will return scam. I didn't hear what. So we want to hide the main and the footer. So we can just take that exact same bind and we'll drop it down into our footer. Right? We got the class here. We'll put it in the footer. So now if we come back over here, sorry, I have to close some of these windows. Too many windows. Too many of them. So I don't know where the footer is. Is there nothing in the footer? Footer. So what was in the footer? Oh, what? Right. That needs to go. Okay. So I reflect. Okay, there we go. So that's. Oh, someone said what the deuce? I missed it. I missed it. What the deuce is right. Okay, cool. So you can see now. What's really cool about this is you can actually see right here that we've got hidden added. So that's been added. Sorry, let me zoom that in. That's been added via the Interactivity API. But if we were to view the source of this page and not, so the source is going to be exactly what was rendered. That is what gets rendered. So that stuff's being added in after the fact, right? Just to be aware of that. So if you're trying to debug something with the Interactivity API, and Mario, I think, told me this, and it's brilliant, and it's so simple. It's so simple but obvious, but it's so powerful. So when you're looking at it like in a browser, you're in the console, you're seeing what JavaScript is doing to it and changing to it, right? And changing. What the hell is all this stuff? Okay, fine, get out of here. But if you want to see the way the page was rendered, you view the source directly, and that's before JavaScript gets a hold of it. Makes total sense. And it's like, I'm sure everyone, including Terrence, is saying, what? Of course, you dummy. But for me, it was like, oh, yeah, it's a little tidbit there. Little tidbit. Okay, so we've got this. And that's our basic function. Okay, and we're done. So we are done. We are done now. So what does this thing do now? So we have this. what needs to be done. So that is a label, right? Okay, so this is all being hidden. Input class to do autofocus. What needs to be done? So let's see. Oh, it's right there. Okay. So should we start trying to plug some CSS into this bad boy? Let's try to plug some CSS into this, I guess. So what's learn? Are there a bunch of HRs in here that I'm not seeing? I don't see any HRs in there. Oops. So I don't think we need that anymore. This is all the oops. And maybe copy that out of there, plunk this into here. All right, we need to grab all. Oh, this is it. Okay, we need to grab this stuff. Put it up here. I'm being just selective with the CSS, so I'll probably have to do this like properly, right? So hopefully this will. Okay, there we go. So we got a bit of styling there now. Cool. Excuse me. Let's see if there's anything in the header class that needs to get pulled in. No? Interesting. Issue count, display none. Oh, nope. Okay, getting there. Getting some, adding some of the CSS goodness. Is there a learn class in here? Fine, I don't know, learn. Okay, so there's no learn stuff. Wait a minute though. I wonder if. Okay. I think I need to grab everything with to-do app. Let me grab all this. Where'd it go? To-do app, to-do app, to-do app. Grab all that. Oh, and this. Sorry, this is probably boring as all hell to get to watch. All right, so I'm gonna put this because this has got all the prefix with to-do app, which I don't need because this is on the same. Oh, gay with the Interactivity API. Yeah, that'd be cool. Somebody just did one. I just saw one that someone did. Clicky blocks, I think it was called. Looked pretty cool. So is that not getting targeted with what it needs? Header should be. It's not getting any. Oh no, stupid me. Okay, need to put that back. Put that back. Need to put that back, and that should fix it. Ah, that's looking better. Just kinda. All right. Let's just we'll clean this up in a bit. But let's get some stuff happening here. So now, when we hit enter, right? When we hit enter or whatever, right? So this input. How are they doing it? Let's look. We need to mark complete item new to do. Two to-dos are entered as the input time. The input should be focused when the page is loaded, preferably by using the autofocus input. Press enter. Pressing enter creates the to-do, appends it to the to-do list, and clears the input. There was something about where did I see that? I saw something about like using the key. Anyway, okay. Well, let's do that. Let's add a key down event. Okay, so in our actions, we want to do. We basically want to have it so when a user does, like, we want to do it on. Right. So we're gonna go on key down. Right, this is going to be what happens. We're just going to go console.log e dot key e dot what is it? No, key code. We'll do both those, right? So then we're going to bind this somewhere. So there's a couple places that we could bind this. We could add it all the way to the top here. So anything inside of this. Anything inside of our main root element will be tracked. But the other thing that we could do is we could do something like this. Like this. We're going to go, we're going to add, I guess it's document. Let's add it to the document. So we're going to go like this. We're going to say, so data, so this is the attribute, sorry, the directive that we're going to do. Did I get rid of my directives? I think I got rid of my directives. Did I? Ugh, I'm going to do it again. Okay, let's see. I closed that, didn't I? Let's see. Can I get that back? There we go. API reference. There we go. So on document. So we're going to use this one. So it's going to basically, we're going to be doing this exact same thing. So when someone hits the enter key or any key, we're going to respond to it. Now, we might want to, I don't know if we're going to want to do this in a bit more of a controlled fashion, but right now, when this runs, we're going to hit, what's going to happen is it's going to run the on key action, and then we're just going to console log out the key that was pressed. Right? So just to reiterate, this is the directive. It's data WP on document -- key down. So the formula, if you notice with hidden, it's the same thing. It's sort of, this is the directive and this is the attribute or the event or the thing that we're going to be binding this to, right? This could be anything. Like this could be ARIA label. This could be whatever, right? Okay, so let's see what that does. So let's get back over here. And on the front end, I'm going to just jump over to my console and clear that out. Now, hopefully, with a little luck, there we go. See? So we've got a key in there, right? So we're going to say if the key code, I'm going to put a little constant in here somewhere and say const key, enter key, key code is 13. So in here, I like to use switch statements because maybe that's a PHP thing. I don't know, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to say case, it's going to be enter key code. And I'm going to do something in here. Doesn't really matter. We're not going to prevent, well, maybe we should prevent default. Why not? In case there's another form of the page. I don't really know. But what we're going to do is we're going to, we need to get the value. Oh, that's interesting. I'm now thinking. I'm not sure how to do that. I'm trying to think here now. So it's probably. Come to think of it, I've never pulled data out. I guess I could. I guess it's just like. It's not going to be that. It's going to be. This is going to be what get. Value is going to be document dot query get. Is that the name of the thing? Whatever we call it. Yeah. So it's going to be that. So we're going to just get that value. So then we're going to have to console dot log the value. All right, that should be it. How is this better than normal JS? It's not a question of better or worse than. What do you mean? It's not a question of better or worse than normal JS. This is all built in JS. I don't understand the question. I'm getting pissy. I don't understand the question, Terrence. I think what's very powerful about this is that it's fully integrated with WordPress, right? And to do this stuff is to do all of this. You know, this is a consistent and standardized way of doing front end interactions. That's basically the biggest selling point, in my opinion. You can do all of this with any JavaScript library. It will take you longer, though, most likely. That's what I think. Is that what you're asking? Like, why is this better than doing this just with whatever framework I like? Is that what you mean? One, it's standardized. Two, what we're doing today is pretty cool, but the stuff that you can do is unbelievable. You can have multiple blocks talking to each other across multiple sections of the page. Let's say that you had a template. So here's this. So let's say you have two blocks and you have a template, right? You just think that WordPress has a tendency to complicate things. Interesting. I don't know why this is more complicated than rendering a React application. Like, with the double dashes? Sorry, are you talking about this? Like the double dash? Is that what you mean, Hakura? I mean, it's a very valid question. I think personally, this is like a way of delineating the same CSS variables from SSE. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So we're talking about some different things. This is completely different than CSS variable names. This is very clear to me that the way that this works is this is the directive, and this is what I'm binding the directive to. So this is like key value, right? That's a very distinct, specific way of doing that. CSS has multiple naming frameworks, like BEM and SAT or SMAX or whatever that one was called. There's lots of those out there, you know, and so I can't speak to the reasoning behind CSS variable naming because that's just not really my area of expertise. But it's a great question. I think part of the resistance and part of the issue that we're running into now with things being too complicated, quote unquote, complicated, is that there's a learning curve and it's hard. And this stuff we're doing is not easy. Like, do you realize that like in less than 20 lines of code, we have complete interaction on the front end, and we're not doing anything other than writing a big JavaScript object, right? Like this. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes here that is not easy to do, right? Like, try to do the same thing in jQuery or in Backbone, and where's your data stored? Your data is stored in the DOM, which is not really what you want, right? This doesn't store any data in the DOM in any way, right? Can you put the console log in the attribute? The where? Oh, in the attribute itself? No, I don't think you can. Can you? But we get tons done with way lesser code and faster. Having been a WordPress developer for a very long time at a very high level, I would tend to disagree with what you're saying, but I would love to see. I'd love to see it. I mean, you know, I'd love to see what you're doing. Should be on window, not on document. Well, that would be, but that changes to the window. Like, we could try both, right? So. Interesting. Yeah. No, Hakira, I'm really glad that you're bringing this stuff up. It's not, I mean, this is great. This is exactly the kind of conversations that we have, right? That we should be having, right? And I understand what developers want and what they don't want. Like, I mean, if you're using React, I guess I don't understand what the pushback is a little bit. Because, you know, if you're using a framework, if you're using React, there's certain things that you have to do. And once you've rendered your React application on a page, it's completely standalone, right? With the Interactivity API, you've now integrated little mini React or Preact, whatever, applications into your templates. So you can have a block that sits over here and a block that sits over here, and they can talk to each other. And if you want to move it, especially if you're a user, if you want to move it, if you want to change that layout, you can change the layout without breaking that connection, which is super powerful. Yeah, like I think there's a lot of benefits for this. But if you're trying to build React-based websites, just straight React, then I mean, yeah, this might not be the right tool. But it depends on what you're doing. I think. I mean, there's value in all the things, right? Yeah, it seems confusing. The Interactivity API is decoupling part of JS logic to the HTML, but not all of it. Yes, and that's why what I agree with. In Mainline.js, you would need way more. Oh yeah, for sure. You need a ton more code. But even in React, there's a bunch of boilerplate. I mean, there's boilerplate in both, right? I love using React. I did a stream where I converted a React application into do I have? I can't remember my password. Is that it? Not gonna get me in? There we go. So like if you look at, for example, something like this, right? So this is the password. I'm gonna have to change it after this now. Did that work? Oh, it didn't work. Maybe I changed it. You know what? That's fine. I'm just gonna do this. Results. So this is all React, right? But to build this out with the Interactivity API is completely possible. And you can have this reorder this. You can move this stuff around, right? So the conferences, like if I come in here and what is this? I think it's WCASIA-yay. Is that what it is? Oh, come on. I'm just going to take it off. I'm just going to... Oh, that's it. Okay. There's something different. I am going to have to change the password now. So anyways, I'm trying to demo something here. So look at this. So this is a voting system, and this is a system that we did for the for a conference that I did in WordCamp Asia. So this is all the Interactivity API, but it's also all done with a template. So if I look at the template, you can see that I've got all of these things. This is a block that knows exactly how much time is allotted and where and when someone votes for a particular thing, it adds to that, and then it can turn off all of these other buttons. And I mean, that's all completely doable with a React application. I really hate that I have that form set up there, right? yeah, but anyhow, so like when you remove this stuff, it's all connected, right? So yes, Kevin, I'm gonna try that right now. Anyways, looks like heck here is jumping off. I do appreciate the conversation though. All right, so what do you want to do? You want to do data? You want to just have a console log in there, right? Let's see what we can do. So it's not document. You want to do what? Document key down. It's window. Okay. Yeah, sure. And then we'll go console.log. Oh God, does this work? All right, let's jump over here and we'll see what happens. Okay. No. Oh, what's that? Oh, I did. That's me not doing that right. I don't think it works. Remove that? Okay. Doesn't. Yes, you have a duplicate. Let me just fix this. Okay. Cannot read properties of log. So it tried to, but it didn't like it. Let's take it from. Let's just replace this for now. We'll do that. Let's just see what happens here. Okay. So you wanna do this. And you wanna console.log. Okay. And we're gonna do that. Okay, let's see. No. Doesn't seem to work. I think this might have, I don't know why this header class. Let me look. Did I do that wrong? Hold on. It's being called, but I wonder if it has to do with the modules and all of that sort of stuff. I wonder if that has something to do with it. That's an interesting question. Do you want to put a function in it instead? Oh yeah, it's only gonna be strings in there. Yeah. Anyways, okay. So we're gonna go. Let's go back to it. So actions dot. What's it on key down? Is that what I called it? I think that's what I called it, right? So we got this on key down, right? So I need to check and see what this is. All right, does this exist now? Oop, it's null. It's not getting the right thing. Oh, it's not an ID. God, Ryan, come on. Query selector, and this should be that, and this should work a little bit better. There we go. Okay, now I should be able to get the value, right? There we go. Okay, so we need to do what? We're just gonna do state.todos push, and we'll just do. That's a horrible way of doing IDs. Is it? Is that a horrible way of doing IDs? Not really, I guess. No, because you can have it's a horrible way of doing IDs. We're just gonna do this for now and see what happens. There we go. So now let's console log. We'll use our debug log. So we're gonna push that. I'm gonna go debug log, and I'm gonna do state.todos. All right. So this isn't gonna save anything. There we go. So we've got, what is it? We got value completed false. Okay. So that's Can you get element.value there? Here? There? What? Where? Oh. Oh. You want to use get element? I think there's a get element function. Let's see. Right? There should is it a get element? It is get element. Let's see what that does. So yeah, so there is a function in there. So I'm gonna say const elm. Forgot about that. Equals get. What do you pass get element? You just say, oh, okay. So we just it's ref. I'm gonna say ref. Get element, and then we'll just let's console log that out. Okay, let's see what this does. Oh yeah, okay. So maybe can I put that? Is there like a so the element is the thing. Okay, so when I call get element, it puts it on the item that's here. Now let me try something. Let me try something here. What if I put this on the input itself? I don't know if that'll work. I have no idea. But let's see. If we put this on the element here, will that give me this element? Will that give me this element? It did. So that's cool. So okay, so then all I need to do is grab, so I don't need to do any of this stuff. I should be able to go ref.value, right? Something like that. Got me the same way. Okay, cool. So I don't know if I need this for now. Let's leave it there. Cool. So then I should be able to say ref. I should be able to pull. Wait, should I be able to do this? Will this work? Cannot redeclare block scope value. Okay, that's fine. I don't need that. Did. Perfect. So now, this is going to get, gets, don't need the caps lock, gets the element, how can I explain this? Where the bind, that is bound to this, that is bound. Okay, so this is going to be, right, so then I should just be able to take value and plunk it right in there. That's pretty cool. Who is that? Boss Gans, thanks for the follow, Boss Gans. All right, so that should do that. 1. All right, so we have it in here. There we go. Okay. Excuse me, what time is it? Oh, it's 11:45 already. Oh my God. Okay. So this is pretty much handled at this point. So in here, toggle all. So I need to probably add some of the CSS in here. Just grab all this stuff. There's a lot of CSS in here. Hold on. Okay, let's to do that. We did all that. We did this. We need. Don't need that. Do need this. So I should just delete this stuff after I move it up. I don't need that. I don't need any of this stuff. It's all been moved up. That's been moved up. Toggle all, toggle all, toggle all. Grab that. Okay, looks a little better. It's not great, but it's better. It's all to-do list stuff. It is. I can just grab all this now, I think. Yeah. Okay. X. So let's. Oh wait, what did I just do there? Did I just delete everything? Hey, did you guys think that you'd be like coming to a stream today and being like, hey, maybe I can just watch this guy? What just happened there? What the hell am I doing? Watch this guy just, do his streams stuff. Okay, is this working? All right, copy and paste. What the hell am I saying? Copy and paste stuff? Okay. I'm gonna delete all this crap. I don't need this crap. Go away. To-do list. Grab everything else. Grab that. Gonna watch me copy and paste all day. That's my song. Okay, there we go. There we go. None of this stuff does anything. Wonderful. Okay, so now we got some CSS happening here. Code reading ASMR. You never come to my stream thinking, what? I don't even remember what I said. So shut your face. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to just put that CSS away. So now we got these to do. So here's our to-do list. Now this is the fun bit. So, here, these are here just to show the structure of the list items. List items should get the class editing and when editing and completed, when marked as completed. Okay, so mark all is complete. Input toggle all class checkbox. Okay. So what we can start doing here is, we're gonna need to do a list. So we're gonna do the list item here. And I did this once before, and that wasn't what I'd say super intuitive. But there's a directive in here we're called WP each, right? And so this is what we're going to do. So the each directive is intended to render a list of elements. Directive can be used in the template tag, okay? Each item is included in the context under item name by default. So directives inside template can access current items. So what we want to do is, I guess we're going to want to give it a context. Do you have to give it a context? Should be included in context under the item name by default. Okay, so we're going to add this. So context is, I'm going to add this here. So data context, so we have state, and state is like global, right? All the place. So, and context is more like internal, or instance level, if you will. So what we want to do is we want to have, we're going to need to get this stuff. So we say get, can I just do state.todos in there? maybe that's what I can do. Maybe I can just go, so the context is going to be state.todos. To-dos. Is that what I called it? Yeah. Okay. And then inside of that, we need to have a template. Context.list. Oh, maybe I don't need that. I'm going to try a couple things here. Let's get this demo working. Let's try that first. I want to get this demo working. I'm going to put it right here. Right. Oh boy. Oh boy. Right. So what this should render out is this should say hello, hola, and hola. Right in there when I run over when I run this, and it's probably in here. Yeah. Hello, hola, hola. So we look at that. You can see we've got this, that, and the other thing. Okay. So now, if I come down here and I do state to-dos, I should be able to put a template just underneath this, right? And it's going to be, what's the structure of our to-dos? Did I put that somewhere? When I do that, no, this is going to be, call it text. All right, so that'll be text. So this I should be able to get context dot. Oh, I don't think I need context for this. Okay, so what I'm thinking here, sorry, I'm not explaining my thought process. So the WP each takes an array of stuff, right? And then inside the template, it's going to render out basically what this is. So this is going to be text, and hopefully that renders that out properly. So we should have something rendered under here once I put this in here. Did it work? It didn't work. To-do list. It's not context though. This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's not working. Okay. So state text, it's not putting in there at all. Okay. All right. So let's put it in as context. We'll do the same thing that we did here. We'll do the same thing that we did here. Oops. It's an object. Okay. So context is an object. So I need to have I guess to-dos. Right? And this state. Oh, I broke something. Maybe it just needs to be state.todos. I'm doing something wrong here. I'm definitely doing something wrong here. I've done this in the past, and I think I know what I need to do. Let me just oh wait, no. Just struggles. Shut up. State votes. Okay. That's funny. Oh, I see. Okay, so I need to do this a slightly different way. It's so I've done this in the past. So so the template. Okay, so I don't know if this needs to be in here. So what we're gonna do. So I've done something very similar to this, but we're gonna. So there's another thing that you can do where you can give it a name. So this is gonna be to do, right? We can try this, right? And so that's gonna be state dot, yeah, to dos, right? Because that should match this. Should be state dot to dos, which is an empty array, right? And that's wunderbar. So if I do that, then I should be able to go. Context to do dot text. And if this works, I'm going to try to explain why that is. That is it. Okay, so what this is going to do, so because this is an array, I think the reasoning behind this is that the array it's just an array of things. So we're saying so each thing in this array is going to be told it's called a to do. It's going to be held in a variable, let's say called to do. It's basically like for each as basically, or for thing as thing basically, right? So this is going to be a to do. So then within the context of this template, we have this to do, which is what this is, and then every item's going to have that. So that's how that's going to work, if that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense, but it might make sense. So then this is going to need to have each one of these. It's going to have to look like this, right? No, that's not right. So let me do this. So this is going to be inside of here, right? Okay, so now for each one of those, that's going to work. So there's some options in here. So if it's completed, if it's being as a view, so then we have this toggle. So I don't know what the difference is. At value, create, rule the web, input. I don't know what are we talking about here. Right, test. So we've got that. So okay, so basically it's going to give us the text inside of there, which is not really what we want. We want to bind that to this. We're going to bind it to that label, and we can pretty much get rid of that at that point, I think, right? Testing. So there we go. So now we've got that happening, right? So toggle view. So then there's input class is edit create. What are we talking about? What is this edit crap? I don't know where that is. Anyways. So for each one of these that we add, we're going to keep getting them in here. Test again, right? And again. And again, right? And so that's supposed to do something. There should be an edit in there. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. I'm going to get rid of this example up here. So that's cool. Okay, so now we got to start doing some things in here. So let's take this. That's the checked thing? I guess that's this, right? That's this item. So toggle checkbox. When that's okay, so then should the input value not? Yeah, I don't know what this is because this doesn't match this stuff. So maybe that's what it needs to be. So let's do that. So we'll do data.wp right? And we want to bind. We're going to bind the value to whatever that is. And then we can get rid of that, right? So this is after the view. So we got this input edit. If we inspect that now, so I guess that's gonna work. Oh, you're supposed to double click to edit, right? That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to double click to edit. Okay, so all right, so let's let's get that happening. You know what we're gonna need is we're definitely gonna need an ID. There's a unique ID thing, is there not? Unique. What are the cool kids using nowadays for unique IDs in JavaScript? Is there a library for that? UUID, isn't there? There's literally a UUID. Yeah, right there. Is that what people are still using? MD5? No, I just need an ID. I don't need two nuts. Math random date .now no. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, but if I delete one, if I clear it, I guess I could just use the length for now. Yeah. Let's call this ID is going to be state.todos.length plus 1. I guess this might bite us in the butt at some point, because if I insert one and I complete it, and then I insert 2, then complete it, then delete it, then whatever. I'm just going to use this for now. I'm just going to use the length of the thing for now, but maybe we don't need that to be as verbose as I'm thinking. Where am I here? Okay, so we have that ID, right? So the other thing I was doing here was I was doing data.wp .each, and then oops. What was it? Dash. And then we're gonna set the key, and it's gonna be context.todos.todo.id. That's gonna be our context. The key for that. All right. Well, you know what? Fine. Math.random. Math.random. Let's see what that does. Okay. So 1. Boom. So in console, we should see, what does that look like? That's our ID. Oh, no, I don't want that. I don't like that. I'm just going to do it the other way. I want it to be a number that I can actually look up by. Something easy to deal with. Test. Boom. There should be 1. All right. Okay, so that's that. So the thing that I want to do now is I would need to have multiple. Oh, you see, no, I've already done it, Kevin. You and your complications. That's enough. It's enough of your shenaniganery. Which is a word. I'm pretty sure I made that word up. So, deal with it. All right. I can't believe it's 12 o'clock already. I feel like I might just go long on this stream. What do you think? You guys in it with me? Oh, hey, Hassan Shaheen is coming from YouTube and said something, and I didn't recognize it. Hey, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. Calculate the current distance to the sun in miles and set that. That's, yeah, so what I need to do is take prime plus 2, compound the interest, and then divide it by 7, which will give me a number that I can then calculate against the average speed of an unladen swallow. Yeah, that seems pretty straightforward. Stop! Just stop! Yeah, all these things will work. They just have to be unique, but I've already got it handled, so we're going to move on because that's not what people are here for. Anyways, okay, cool. So what I want to do now is I'm going to do something like this. So we see that there's like this class here, right? So what we want to do is we're going to use a directive. The directive is going to be called class, WP class. I'll say it just like that. So class works like this. It is a truthy, falsy thing. It's like that class names package in JavaScript. So if whatever it was validates as true, it'll get that class. If it validates as false, it will not get that class. So this is what we're going to add. And so we're going to add this thing in here. We're going to change it to completed. Ba-boo, beta-boo, beta-boo. And then I need to basically, I can go context.todo. I think I called it complete, right? Complete. Oh, you know what I have to do in there? I'm going to put some data in. I'm going to put some data in. So I'm going to do two objects. We're going to say ID1, and it's going to be next. And completed is true. Because I already know React. You are here for the ID drama. Oh, Kevin. How's Thailand, Kev? By the way. False. Be better at JavaScript. There we go. All right, so this should give us a couple of things here. So if I refresh this, I should get two things. So we got learn React. It comes in checked. Interesting. Well, I don't know why it's there. Oh, because I gave it the, oh, because it already worked. So when it's wait, what's this taste? So that's, oh, that's, sorry, that is checked. Oh, right. So we also need to bind. So we're going to need to bind, let's bind the checked attribute to that as well. So in here, right? Is that not what we want? So this should be taste JavaScript completed checked. Interesting. So this, I think this should also be bound. So WP data bind, right? Checked. We'll check that. We'll bind that attribute to the completed, right? So I think this should be checked and crossed off. Wait. Oh, because this is who's too good at coding? Definitely Kevin, not me. I'm garbage. There we go. So that's the state. So when we uncheck that, it should toggle that state, right? That's what we should do. Okay, so so we need to, so on this checkbox, we've got a bound event here, right? And what we need to do is so let's do that. So we're gonna go WP data. No, sorry, WP on. Let's look in here. We're gonna want on. We want it on click because that's. Is that the one we want? Would you use an on click event for a toggle? Maybe on change? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's on change. We'll do change. On, I guess, change. And then what we need to do is we need to put an action dot toggle complete. Right? So we don't have that yet. So in our actions, we're going to add a toggle complete. Toggle completed is what I'm going to call it. So in our actions object, we're going to add this. It's going to be a function, and we won't have that. We won't have any of that stuff. So I'm going to call, I guess I'm going to call this. See what the ref is. Go away. And we'll say console.log_ref. Oh, not there. Right. So let's do this. Let's do this. If I toggle, test. Wait, what? Context did detect is not a valid attribute name. Where's that? What have I done? Oh, I broke something here. Oh, gotta learn to close them string attributes. Those attributes. So what was that? Input checkbox checked. So that's working. So okay. So how do I do this? Yeah, you need extension. I'll close it. I think it does do it for me. I'm just not very good at code. All right, so I'm gonna do that. Do this. I like to do this so I can see what's going on. Okay, so I guess the question now becomes: I've got this key available somewhere, but do I need to get access to it? So in the element, I don't have. Oh no, go away. Somebody block that dude. Can I block this guy? Let's see. Can I just add? Yeah. Sorry, you're blocked. Bind as a typo. Where is that? Where's that? Where are you seeing that? WP is after data. Oh. You're so smart. I do that all the time. It's a data attribute. Thank you. Thank you. So like if you're familiar with data attributes, you can basically do this in JavaScript and put anything you want after that. And so that's what we're doing here. And so I have got to get that through my thick skull that WP is not first. There is, I'm pretty sure there is an extension for this. Like a is there an extension? Let's look. It might not be. I swear so. There's a WoW API. That's hilarious. I think there is one. I have to look that up. I think Mihal did one. I have to ask him. Did I just type something? Yeah. All right, let's try this again. Let's try this again. Okay, it's crazy that actually worked. Okay, so what I think but I might need to use the data attribute here. Data this is gonna. Oh, I can just do this. Data ID is going to be. I can just do this. Context to do ID, right? And then this should get me. I should be able to get that. Oh no. What is going on? Oh. Can you do that? Oh my god, imagine that. So I want to bind the value of data ID to that. Is that gonna work? It did! Okay, so that's a bit of like inception there. So what I'm doing is I'm binding a data ID attribute that way. It's not changing the check state. Oh, because I'm not changing it. I'm just handling it. Like I haven't changed anything in it, right? Because I need to get the value of it. Is it data? I'm trying to remember. Is it data? Oh, sorry, that's not what I want. If you're trying to access the data attributes on an element, does it work like that? No. How do you do that? Access data attribute JavaScript. What is that? It's get attributes? Must be get attributes. No. What? Data's what? Data set property? Data set. Okay. I knew it was something like that. Clearly I knew it was something like that. What am I talking about? I don't know anything about that. Thank you, Terrence. You beat me to it. I like to ignore chat. Use context to get the ID. So if I check this now, DOM string ID. Okay, DOM string ID. Stream map ID. So we go dataset.id. That should get me what I need. Right, yeah, there we go. And then oh, who's playing mission accomplished? Love it. Thank you for that. Very cool. Okay, so now I should just be able to do like you should be able to do a map, right? Oh, you couldn't hear that? Trigger fire. Maybe someone trigger that again. Let me know if you could hear it. Okay, so we have that. So now I should be able to take the now this is the data set, and it'll be .id, right? Then I want to go can I not update it directly in the Interactivity API? Huh. No, great. You already built it. So I should be able to do that. No, I should just be able to generate new state, should I not? I should go state dot to do's equals state. Do something like that. Thanks to thanks to GitHub Copilot. Oh, broke something there. What is this all about now? Oh, I need to do that. There we go. Cannot update it directly with in the Interactivity API. What do you? Thanks for sharing that. What this is? Oh, you already built this. Let's see, 2 weeks ago. You beat me to it. Sweet job. Let's look at your view. Very nice. That's great. That's super cool. Thanks for sharing. What was the question? Since everything's it's bound? Well, no, because it's just bound to whatever the value is. I don't like the idea is that the render doesn't do any. We're not doing anything inside the render. Like the only thing we're doing is connecting HTML to the store in that sense, where like there's nothing happening inside the render. You can't update state with. Yeah, you absolutely can. I just did. So this is what I'm doing. State, like I'm basically regenerating state off of this the same way that you would, right? Like I'm creating new state from old state. But you have to do that through an action. Well, how would you do that? It's a JavaScript store, so you need to. So what we're doing is we're like this is when this changed. I'm firing something and it's gonna complete it. Is that what you're talking about? I don't think I understand the question. So stop yelling at me. Man. Okay. So we're gonna get rid of this. So this should give me all the IDs now, right? Like how Alpine handles it. Interesting. Let's look. Local state. Oh, you're talking about you want to define the state inside of it? Yeah, you can do that. You can define state. But are you talking about updating state though? Like I don't. Is this like that kind of stuff? So there is absolutely a way to do this. Like you can do. You can there's a context, so you can see like you can apply context. Yeah, totally. Let me show you an example of that. What example is that? I have this thing, this interactive slider that I built, And in the render, is it in the render? Might not be in the render. There is a function here. So I'm doing some fairly complicated things here, but basically what you can do is you can define context and you can set the context directly in PHP. You can also define global state like this, right? So you like, and this sets it server side. This is probably how we want to do it, right? So it is very much possible to do it. In fact, we're probably going to end up having to do this. And you know what? I'm going to do that right now, because what we want, what happens is there's a number of right. So there's what is this? There should be 0 items left by default, right? But this shouldn't be hard coded, right? So if we wanted to have like this is going to be dynamically updated when our list of completed to-dos changes, right? So but to do that we need to have let's demonstrate that. So there's this thing called derived state, right? So what we're going to do is get to-dos to-dos left, right? To-dos left. So we'll do something like that, right? And so this is going to write all the code for me because I love GitHub Copilot. There we go. So we're going to do this, right? So that's going to return that. So in here, what I want to have is we're going to bind this value, and it's just, so we're going to say WP, we're going to say data dash WP dash, I think it's text, right? Is going to be equal to state dot, I think it's, what do I call it? To-dos left, right? Like this, right? So that should bind there directly. So we have 0 left, right? So you see how it says 1 item left, and if the thing is, it's going to flicker, right? It's going to, because let me demonstrate this. It's hard to show it when I'm running it locally, but if what I need to find some way of grabbing that. The filters to do count. So let's grab this. Let's go. Nope. It's going here. We'll do a find for to do count. So you see how there's nothing in here, right? In our case, it's very hard to see it. But like if you had complicated data in here, what would happen is there'd be that flash of unstyled content sort of thing. It would flicker, right? Like it would move around. Let me demonstrate it by doing like this, right? So if I do that, oh, it's still not. So the problem is happening way too fast. But if I were to, maybe it's just not doing that right now. I need to find a good way of demoing this. But let's just see. Expect to do count. Ba-boom. Yeah. So it's just basically removing it. So anyways, what I'm getting at is what we'd want to do is we want to do something like this. We'd want to in PHP we're gonna set some interactive state. We're gonna set this to our store here, right? And then what we want is in state. We'll probably want to do this. 111, right? So that should give us a default value, I think. That should give us, yeah. So you see the default value there was populated. It still gets updated in here, and it gets updated quickly. But if we didn't have, there's going to be times where you're going to be doing something and you need it to come from the server and it needs to live there before you can do stuff. For example, you want to know how many posts or how many tags are on the page where this block is being added, right? So that's what so you're going to need that information ahead of time, and that's where this function comes in. So this interactivity state adds state to the store, sort of like as default state, right? So we're going to say that we have 0 to-dos left because you know, we don't know what that is. So it's going to say that there's none left, but now it's going to say there's 1 left, now there's 2 left, now there's 0 left, and so on and so forth, right? And that's just bound to that particular value. So also, you see how quickly I put that together? I wrote one little thing and bound it, and now I'm updating this and updating that, and it's super, super simple. Super simple. Cool. So I can get rid of this now. So we bound that piece together. So this is the thing. What time is it? 12:25. Okay. So where are we at now? Right. So clear completed. What's that supposed to do? I guess that's supposed to like delete everything, right? Clear completed. So we could probably do that. Right? Okay, so let's add an action for clear completed to-dos. Nope. That's how... Oh, man, this music is so jazzy. Let me switch it. Okay, so clear completed to-dos. So while all we need to do here is we need to have it go state.todos filter to-do completed, right? That should be all we have to do. And then we're going to come down here to the clear thing, and we're going to, so that's class, we're going to say WP, no data, WP bind, and it's going to be click, right? I think it's on click. I think it has to be the name of the event that we're binding it to. And it's going to be this. And we get heads bound to the actions like that. And to workspace settings. All right. Let's see what happens. So, oh, I broke something. Whoa, I broke something. What did I break? Oh no. Did I do it again? Oh, yes. Thank you. All this state is in memory on the client. Yes. It's just, the state's not stored anywhere. The state, so that's a good question and a great distinction. Thanks, just Skirl. I'm not saying that right. But this is all stored in memory on the client. So none of this is persisting, right? So you can save this to the database any number of ways. If you wanted to, you would need to write that layer, so interactivity doesn't always mean that you want to be saving stuff. Like we could do whatever we want here. We could have it save to local storage. We could have it hit an API endpoint and save there. And so you would need to roll that solution. Yeah, that's what you need to do. Okay. Let's see. See what's going on there. Maybe that's not. Is that not even clear completed to-dos? Did I just do the wrong thing? Maybe it's just click. Oh yeah, it's just click. Sorry, that makes a lot more sense. So that did it. Right? Okay. So this just gets rid of them, right? So we've got this stuff. We got this stuff. Do something. Right. So now we should be able to just clear that. There we go. Now these don't work because these need to be according to the spec thing here. Oh, there's a on down. Yeah. Yeah. So you take the on off. You've got that right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Cool. Hidden if no completed. Oh. Hidden if no completed items are left. Oh, I see. So let's bind that to. Okay, so we need to know. We need to get a list of completed items. Toggle completed. Has to do list. Has to do's. Get. We'll do that. And we'll bind it there. This JavaScript. Copilot's writing all this junk for me. It's so easy. So we're going to say, this is going to be, we're going to say data dash wp dot bind, and we'll say hidden again. So this is hidden if state does not have, we're going to do that, right? So clear that, and it's gone. It comes back. It's gone. Sweet. It's coming together pretty quickly, I think. It's pretty good for 2 hours. Okay, so where's this mark all is complete? I don't even see that. I better check against the example here. Oh, I guess that removes it. Oh, that's what this does. That marks everything as complete. Right? Okay, so that's where that comes in. So this is an input checkbox. So we need to do on data WP bind change checked and change. I'm going to say actions mark all complete. And let's see, is it going to do this for me? It's going to go, it's going to just write this for me. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's see if it does it. So let's add another one of these, another one of these, and then we'll go boom. It does it. That's amazing. I don't write any of my JavaScript. That's the part that slows me down on here, is learning my JavaScripts. Need to clear some stuff up here though. I think I need to say on key down. I need to. I also need to clear. I need to get the ref.value and set that to nothing because I want that to go away. Right, so we need to clear the input field. It should work. Boom. Didn't work. Ref is not defined. Oh. Okay. You can write my comments for me. It's wicked. All right, let's see what this does. There we go. So that does that. That does this. Cool. declare completed. So the only other thing left is to get rid of that one. I don't write any code for myself. I think I already answered that question, Terrence. Bugger off. Bugger off, eh? That's very Canadian of me. Speaking of Canadian, is anyone going? Who's going to WordCamp Canada this year? I'm going to be there. Are you going to be there? I hope you're all there. I think this is a really great spot to stop because there's actually maybe we'll just get that working. We'll say where is that? There's a destroy. So we're going to go on. We're going to go data.wp. What on click, and it's going to be actions.delete to do. You're only going to the best WordCamp? Well, I don't want it gotta be like that about it. Well, no, that didn't work. Did I do it wrong again? Did I do it wrong again? Where's the button? Where's the button? Data on click actions delete to do. Oh, I know why. Because I need to bind the data ID again. I'm gonna do that. It's gonna be a bit more complicated here. I'm gonna get the element. Oh my god. It knew what I needed to do to Europe. I'm not, unfortunately. I'm not coming to Europe this year. I would love to, but I'm not. I didn't get accepted to talk, so I'm not going to go. That's not because I didn't get accepted to talk. Active completed buttons not be buttons instead of A links. Yes, possibly, but I think what they want to have happen. One of the guidelines they're talking about is routing. So they want to have an active route, a completed route, and all that stuff. Now, I don't know if that makes sense for what we're trying to do in the block here. So that's the thing. Yeah. So we can persist our to-dos to local storage as well. Maybe we'll just do that right now. What's the best? I wonder what the best way to do that is. Like we just want it to save all the time. So every time state updates, we're gonna have it do that. That's a good place to stop. Oh well, I'm just thinking it's a good place to stop, but also like we're not that far away from finishing it, and I don't really know how much we do in another stream. You know what I'm saying? You're always up in my grill, Terrence. Right? Because there is the database persistence layer. Maybe what we'll do is I am going to I think what we'll do is we'll have to get it. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna stop and we're going to Cav wants me to push this to GitHub so he can do a bunch of pull requests to fix it all. What we need to do is we're gonna have to register some post meta. I think we should do it this way. Register post meta, right? What am I doing? What in the blue blazes am I doing here? So it would be on the init, would it not? It would be on the init hook. Yeah, it's on the init hook. Okay, so in here I'm going to just add action init, and I like doing inline functions because I like to do that, and I don't care what you guys say. It makes me happy. So I'm going to register a piece of post meta. You can do that with a very simple little function call like this, right? And we're going to actually register it to the post. And this is going to be to-dos, and it's going to be type's going to be an array, and there's not going to be that, right? And then what is this? Why is this yelling at me? Oh, because this needs to not be there. So the idea here is that we would do that, and then we would have to hit an endpoint here. Ouch. Right, so, and then on the post that we're setting up, in fact, what we'd end up doing is we'd have to get like, we get the to-dos here in the state. To-dos, right? And it would be get post meta, and we'd have the post ID, so whatever ID. We have to get the post. I guess we can just global post ID, right? Just global post, right? And I hate it that it doesn't. I'm working in PHP. VS Code doesn't take the $sign with it. So we take the ID, and the post meta is going to be whatever I just called it. What did I call it? To-dos, right? And then it's the true value, man. Right? And then we're going to do this. So that would return that as our default value, which is not going to do anything right now. Not going to change anything right now. But if I were to say take a, well, how would I do that? I don't think it should be an array. It might just be like a serialized. We have to be set some kind of serialized array or something. Right. So we'll pull that in, and then on the Vue.js side, what we'll need to do is we're going to need to use API fetch. Now the thing about API fetch is that this is the thing, and this is, I'm going to have to, I think this is definitely going to be for next stream, setting this up. So what we have to do is, because this is loaded as a module, we can't import from API fetch in this, because this is not exported to support modules. So what we have to do is we have to make sure it's in queued, and we have to add it, we have to make sure that it's in queued and access it on the WordPress global. That's how we have to handle that. So, but that is a story for another time. So that's what we're going to do. Next week, I'm going to finish this off. So basically we've got our UI happening here, and maybe we'll clean this up a little bit. What the deuce is that? Oh, yeah, we're just not going to do that right now. There's some things I have to do to make that work. Today's going to be make it work. All right, put that in. There we go. So yeah, so that's it. And then we will pick this up next week. But anyways, and I'm probably going to do a Gutenberg version review. I think 18.2 just went out yesterday. So we'll probably have to do a 18.1 as well. But anyways, I will. Yeah, I am going to. Yep, I can absolutely do it in local storage. I think that's what they're actually recommending that we do here anyways, right? So what we can do is do like an init on this, right? Actually, we could do that right now. I'm not going to do that right now. Local storage is definitely a good idea. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to call this a stream, and thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you. Got a bunch of new followers. I really appreciate you all for hanging out with me today. And we're going to go ahead and call it, but y'all are the best. Nice. It's almost done. It's almost checked. Almost done. There we go. But all right, I'm going to see y'all later, and I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. So I'll see you later. Bye.